romance novels. It's just juicy, it's just sizzling, it's just hot, it's just on fire. Hello wonderful people, welcome to my channel Book Crave with Giselle. As you can see from the title, I'm doing the newbie tag on BookTube. So welcome, I hope you enjoy this video and stay tuned till the end. Let's get to know me and why I love books and why I love reading. So the first question is, and I'll be reading from my laptop, reading the questions because I don't know these questions offhand, so please bear with me. Why did you start this channel? So I started this channel because I came across BookTuber probably like 2 weeks ago. I never knew anything about BookTube, never knew that something like this existed, and I was in awe, and I'm like, you know what, maybe this is something that I can do. Like, I love reading. I didn't know that this community existed, and I'm like, why the heck not, right? Second question, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? What unique things can I bring to BookTube? I'm not too sure, but I'm willing to bring my personality. Yeah, I'm willing to bring my personality, my unique personality. I have been reading for a number of years, and I'm a Caribbean girl, an island girl, and maybe I can bring some Caribbean flavors. We are known for our flavors and our spices, so maybe I'll be bringing that, right? And just, you know, doing it in terms of like book reviews and book recommendations, you know, add some spice. But yeah, we'll see how this turns out. We'll see how this turns out and what I could possibly bring when I start doing other videos. Next question. What are you most excited for about this channel? I am really excited about getting to know persons on BookTube. As I said earlier, this is the first time that I recently came across BookTube, and I did not know like this whole community existed. And I'm like, I have no one else to share my thoughts and opinions with when I read like really interesting books. And maybe this is a platform where I can share my ideas and my thoughts on different characters and stuff like that. But I'm just really excited just to put myself out there and put my thoughts and ideas out there and just communicate and interact with persons that have been on BookTube for a number of years, or probably for a couple of months. But that is what I'm excited about, just to be here and be interacting with you all. Number 4, why do you love reading? I love reading because, and it's gonna sound generic, right? I love reading because it takes me away from life, and reading books just allows me to enter a new world, enter a new country, like interact with persons that I would never ever interact with, but they're just so exciting, right? So I love reading that because it's just, I just like reading because it helps me to relax, right? It helps me to unwind. It helps me to de-stress after a very stressful day. Reading is all that to me. It's not just like a hobby or something I do. It's like a part of my life. Like, I cannot go one day without reading a couple of chapters from a novel. Like, I can't. Like, I can't. Like, even thinking about it now, I'm getting anxiety. Like, I can't. So reading is just, it's more than a passion, it's my way of life. Question number 5. What books or series got you interested in reading? What books or series? I don't have the book, but the first book that I remember reading was Silver Flame by Susan Johnson. It's like a really old book. I'll put like a picture of the book up. That book was so interesting. Like it's a romance, a historical romance, and it just opened my eyes to the world that existed prior to now, and I was just like blown away, absolutely blown away. And from then on, every time that I could get my hands on a novel, I would read it. And back in the day, it was like getting books was very difficult. Yes, and I say back in the day, maybe we'll talk about that in the next video here. But back in the day, getting books was very, very difficult. And yes, you had the library, but like there wasn't much romance novels in the library. There was no tablets, there were no smartphones to download books on. There was no Kindle. So you know, it was very difficult. You had to like go into bookshops and buy books. And being a teenager, that wasn't happening. We did not have this to be buying books. So, but anywho, that was the book that got me interested in reading. Question number 6. What questions would you ask your favorite YouTuber? I don't have a favorite YouTuber. Like I recently came across it within I came across BookTuber within the last week to 2 weeks. So I don't have like a favorite, but if I could ask a question, I would ask, how do you keep your channel interesting? Like some persons have like really interesting channels and you keep going back and going back, and I would love my channel to be something like that. So my question is, how do you keep it interesting? How do you keep it juicy? How do you keep things spicy and sizzling? Because I keep going back for some more. I keep wanting more. Yep, I keep wanting more. Question number 7. What challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Definitely editing. I've never edited a video in my life. I've never done a video in my life. This is my first video. So I know that is definitely going to be a challenge, but who knows? Maybe it will be something that I find interesting. Maybe it will become something that I enjoy doing, but definitely hands down period, editing is going to be my biggest challenge. I'm probably maybe finding time to do videos, to record videos. But yeah, editing is definitely gonna be my biggest challenge. Question number 8, and we're almost done because there's 10 questions. When did you start reading? So I started reading at the age of 14. I got my hands on that Susan Johnson, and that was when I started reading. So yeah, you'd read your reading books from school, your regular textbooks from school, but like in terms of reading novels, I really started getting into it in my mid-teens, and then like I was purchasing and getting my hands on novels like in my later teens, and the rest is history. It's history, baby. Where do you read? I personally read in my bedroom, on my bed, because as I said earlier, reading helps me to de-stress, it helps me to relax. So reading on my bed is the ideal place for me. Sometimes, like if it's raining or something, I may like read a book on the couch, you know, with my little pillow, and you know, just snuggle up with a nice good book. But that is where I primarily read. And the last question, what kind of books do you like to read? So I like to read romance novels. I've always been reading romance novels. Even when I started my first novel that I ever read was a romance novel, and I have stuck with that genre. I like the different tropes in it. I do not have a favorite, but hands down, like romance novels. It's just juicy, it's just sizzling, it's just hot, it's just on fire. And the hotter the storyline, the juicier the storyline, the wetter the book, the more I'm going to enjoy it. You know, when you read a book and you start to fan yourself, yes, and your skin start to feel heated. I love those books, and those are the books that I'm going to be talking about on my channel. So if you're interested, stay tuned, because I'm going to drop some very hot, sizzling, juicy, wet books when I do book recommendations. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop a comment or suggestions down below. Let's keep connected. Let's interact. Let's communicate.